Assalamu Alaykum, my dear little friends. Welcome to Ahlulbayt. Today we're going to be talking about a very special hero and continue our journey through Karbala. This young handsome boy was only 18 years old and he was the love of his father. He resembled the Holy Prophet in the way he looked and in his mannerism and akhlaq. In fact, one day Ali Akbar was walking down the markets with Al-Abbas, and Al-Abbas would always bow down so that everyone could see Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar asked him, "Oh my uncle, why do you bow your head down? Are you ashamed of me?" "Oh my dear son, every time we go to the markets, all the people yearn to see you because you look just like the Holy Prophet. So I bow down so that all the people can see you and get happy because they feel like they're seeing the face of the Holy Prophet again." So now we are on the day of Ashura and the morning arrives, the time of Fajr. Imam Hussein looks at his son and says, "Oh my dear son, will you recite the adhan? We would love to hear your beautiful voice one last time." Ali Akbar recites the adhan loudly, just like his grandfather. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. All the women in the tent start to weep. They remember the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they cry as they all know this is the last time they will hear the voice of Ali al-Akbar, who sounds like the Prophet. Ali al-Akbar goes to his father and he says, "Oh father, can I go to the battlefield? Qasim has gone, Aun&Muhammad has gone, Habib has gone, Abbas has gone. There is now only Ali Akbar and his father Imam Hussein left." He raises his hands up in the sky and says, "Ya Allah, accept the sacrifice from me." He grants permission immediately to his son, but says, "Please go and visit your Aunt Zainab because she has brought you up, and visit your mother Layla in the tent and seek permission from them." Ali Akbar goes to the tent and he asks for permission. They all have heavy hearts because they love Ali Akbar and he's got the best of akhlaq. They hold on to him and say, "Oh son, is this the last time we'll see you?" He bids them farewell and they let him go. He mounts the horse and he starts to go towards the battlefield. As he's riding his horse towards the battlefield, he hears footsteps behind him. He turns around and says, "Oh father, you granted me permission to go and fight. Why are you coming behind me?" Imam al-Hussein looks at him and says, "If only you knew what a father felt in his heart." Ali al-Akbar continues to go to the battlefield and he fights so bravely and lots of enemies are finished. He then, while he's fighting, his mother Layla is in the tent and she's praying to Allah. She's praying so hard and she says, "Oh Allah, please bring my son back one last time. I promise I'll let him go. I just want to give him one last hug." So Allah listens to the prayer of the mother and Ali al-Akbar fights bravely and comes back and says to his father Imam al-Hussein, "Did you see how I fought? Did you see how brave I was?" Imam al-Hussein says, "I am so proud of you, my son." He goes to his mother, he gives her one last hug and they cry. Ali al-Akbar goes back to the battlefield and he then fights bravely and a bad enemy hurts him. He falls to the floor and calls out to his father, "Oh father, accept my salams." Imam al-Hussein goes towards his son and puts his head on his lap, and Imam al-Hussein is very sad but also thankful to Allah that he accepted his sacrifice. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Assalamu alayka ya Hussain wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussain wa ala ashab al-Hussain. My dear little friends, I'm going to now tell you a beautiful story of Prophet Musa and the basket. I'm sure you've heard this story before, but I will remind you, inshallah. A long time ago, there lived a very mean king named Fir'aun. Fir'aun didn't want any other kings after him, so he thought he would live forever, and he commanded his army to go around the city and get rid of any young baby boys so that they wouldn't grow up and take his position in the palace and become king. When baby Musa's mother heard this, she became very scared because she just had her little baby Musa. So she started praying to Allah and she said, Ya Allah, please keep my baby safe. Soon Allah sent her a very special message. He told her to make a little basket and put it in the river with Prophet Musa in it. Oh my goodness! Would you think that you could allow your mummy to put you in a little basket and send you away? But she didn't question it. The mother of Musa was so faithful to Allah, and she had a lot of trust in Allah that whatever He said, she knew would be the best outcome. So she put Prophet Musa in the basket and put the basket in the river. She was a little worried because she was a mother, but she knew that Allah would take care of everything. Meanwhile, the basket floated away, and Syeda Asya, the mean king's wife, who was a very good lady, saw the basket with the baby. And she was so happy because she didn't have any children. She went to the river and took the baby out of the basket and fell in love with him immediately. When the mean king Fir'aun found out about the baby, he didn't want the baby here. But Syeda Asya begged him to keep the baby. So he did. Asya was so happy to have baby Musa and loved him very much, but baby Musa would not stop crying because he wanted his mummy. Asya didn't know what to do. Baby Musa's sister was watching, and she quickly went home to tell her mother what had happened. She went to Asya and said, "Let me hold the baby. Maybe he will stop crying." Asya gave her baby Musa and he immediately stopped crying. "Wow," said Syeda Asya, "can you help me take care of the baby?" Did you see how Allah brought Prophet Musa back to his mother? In the same way that Imam Hussein and Syeda Layla prayed for Ali Akbar to come back one last time. Let us raise our hands in prayers that Allah also gives us the tawakkul in our hearts to be like Prophet Musa's mother and like Ali Akbar's mother Layla. Assalamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Oh Hussein, this is the lesson we'll teach our children. Oh Hussein, show love to all of humanity. Help those within your community. In their times of difficulty, stand up by their side with unity. Help those who need you when they're in trouble. Your master's message is universal. Oh Hussein, oh Hussein, this is the lesson we'll teach our children. Oh Hussein, oh Hussein, this is the lesson we'll teach our children. Oh